Hi everyone, it's Shirley Farrar from Encouragement on Fire. I'm excited to be before you today. I wanted to talk to you because we're talking about life-work balance in 2024. And many of you have been sending in emails, you've been talking to me in regards to transitioning in your career. And this is an important part in your life. And many of you that are listening, you're watching right now, you know that my background is in career services. And so I actually would love to combine career services and that life-work balance for you in the next 12 steps. So as you begin to come online, we're going to talk about life-work balance and how does that look in career services and how can you transition from where you are now into whatever it is that you desire to do. So I want you to think about that as we talk about what motivates you, right? What are your strengths, your skills? And also, what are the goals that you set for your life? Those are extremely important as we begin to move you through to your next steps. I know you're getting excited. I'm getting excited for you because this is a passion for me to be able to help anyone that I talk to get you from point A to point B and so forth and so forth. I can recall a time in my life that when I began to pursue my purpose in life. And I figured it out with the help of mentors, sponsors, people that were willing to talk with me and to understand where I was currently and what it was that I wanted to do. And over time, I learned that this was my purpose, to help other people to figure out what it is they want to do in life. And so no matter who I'm speaking to, no matter what your degree level is, no matter what area you have chosen to embark upon, there is a starting point. There is a beginning that we have to discuss. And then we can then get you to where you need to move forward in, and then where you ultimately will be. Now, I want you to keep in mind, and I want your mind to be open to the fact that you don't have to figure it out today. You don't even have to figure it out next year. The point is that we need to start the process of the journey of where you will be in your career, what works for you in your career, and consider the fact that statistically you're going to have about 7 different occupations by the time you retire, possibly more. So I want you to consider that. Don't limit yourself. Don't lock yourself in a box. Don't say, I've done it all, there's nothing else for me in life. Of course there is. Sometimes there's something that has been created, and sometimes you could be the first one to create that occupation title. Yes, it does happen every day, and you could be that person. So I want you to, like I said, not put yourself in a box, not assume that you've heard it all, you've done it all, because as you walk with me in this journey of life-work balance, as we talk about career services, as we transition you to whatever your next steps are, let's just have a conversation. Let's see what works for you. Okay? This is our podcast number 91. And as I stated earlier, we are talking about the career transitioning as we still move through that life-work balance. And the first step that I'm going to talk to you about today is assessing the current situation. That is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. Where are you right now? What are you doing? What are you not doing? Right? That's a hard conversation. But I'm very thankful that you have decided to join me today to have that conversation. That I'm not happy about where I am, and I'd like to move to something different, right? That's why you're listening today, because you want to do something else. And that's okay. It doesn't necessarily have to be just a career, right? You could be actually satisfied with your career, but not totally satisfied. You may want to do something in addition to your current career. And that's okay too. So one of the things you're going to find out with some of the tools we're learning, you're going to be able to do that. You're actually going to be able to do that, and you're going to be able to figure it out. There are a lot of you that, you're enjoying what you do in life. However, I still need to write a book. I still need to do, something else. I want to open a store. I want to figure out how to do A, B, C, and D while I'm doing these other things, right? How do we go about doing that? Yeah, how do you go about doing that? All right, so the first thing we need to do, we got to identify. What you choose to not identify, you cannot deal with it. And that's in anything. That's in marriage. That's in your career. That's in your health issues. You have to be willing to identify it in order for you to figure out what your next steps are. I told you, this is one of those things you're going to have to decide, I'm going to come along for the journey. I'm going to come along for the ride. So assessing your current situation. Let's do that. So I have 2 things that I want you to work on. The first one I want you to do is identify what you don't like, right? Your dissatisfaction. What is it you don't like about your life right now? What is it you don't like about your situation? What do you don't like about your career? What do you don't like about your life, period? I need you to reflect. This is going to be an entire 12 steps of reflection. So I need you to write that down. Come on, write it down. Identify dissatisfaction. What is it you don't like? So the next time, you'll know what it is, and then we can actually move forward in the next step. And if you are in the process of listening on this, freeze it. Freeze the podcast and choose to write. Choose to reflect. Some of you out there, you're like myself, you're spiritually connected. And so it's okay for you to not like something. Listen, we, as faith-based people, we believe that God directs our pathway, right? But he gave you emotions. He gave you emotions to know when something's off. Yes, he did. He gave you those emotions. The reason I know he did is simply because you are feeling something. Think about it, all right? There's touch, eyesight, right? Smell, taste, hearing. Come on. These are things that God gives you because you live in a body. Even if you're very spiritual, you still live in a body. And so there's some emotions. Are we led by our emotions? Absolutely not. We are never led by our emotions. But we still have them. And the emotions can help us to avoid bad situations. Those emotions can help us to identify some things we need to identify immediately, right? Think about it. If a ferocious dog came up to you, or a lion, you would immediately feel what? Fear. Sometimes that's warranted, right? Because you immediately need to get to what? Safety. So emotions don't necessarily have to be a bad thing. We just need to put them in perspective. So right now, what are you feeling? You need to write that down. In your dissatisfaction, what are you feeling? There's some emotions that go along with how you're feeling, and you need to be okay with saying that. Okay, so now you have your first question out of 2 questions that I want to propose to you today. So you are going to answer the first question. And now the second question that I'm going to propose to you is, what are the achievements? What are the awards? What are the things that you deem important in your life, right? So some people, that speaks volumes for different people. Some people, it's the awards that others give them. Others, it's the awards that no one has ever given them, but they see their achievements that they've done in society as beneficial to them. I'll give you an example. Maybe you're a person that feeds the homeless. You engage with others, as Matthew 25 states, which they're considered the least of these. However, that means the poor, those that are in need, those that have been dealt a bad hand. And you go out of your way to make sure that you help them, that you give them information, you give them access. A lot of times we call that DE&I in our organizations, but people have been doing that for a long time. We just put a name on it. Our faith-based organizations are organized, right? The government organized faith-based organizations and nonprofits to do just that, to contribute to DE&I. That's why they're nonprofits, right? Take the donations that have been given to help those that are in need. So maybe you're that person. You volunteer all the time. You enjoy volunteering. How many of you, like myself, you enjoy volunteering? This is something that's a lifelong journey. So in that, you don't need recognition. And maybe there's some people out there, you like both. You like the accolades as well as the hidden accolades, meaning I like both. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. Because everyone is different. Everyone moves at a different rhythm. So wherever you find yourself, what are your achievements? And I need you to make a list of that as well. Because when you're going through making a list of the things that you're dissatisfied about, when you're making that list of things that you're dissatisfied about, you have to make a list of the things that that over time have brought you joy. That could be family, that could be jobs, that could be friends, that could be traveling. It could be so many things. What is yours? What are your achievements in life, right? Many of you could have doctorate degrees and you've done some different things statistically. You've changed the narrative, right? You've produced medicine. You've done so many wonderful things in life. And you could be the person who saw that person on the side of the road and you lended a hand. You've done so many wonderful things in life. So no matter where you find yourself, you see my little dog sitting over there in the corner. They're in the door. They're so cute. I just love my dogs. Yes, I have 2 + 1. My son's dog is with us, as well as my husband and I have 2 dogs. They're just a joy. I'm going to bring them on. You can hear them in the background. I'm going to bring them on in the upcoming features. They're going to be a part of Encouragement on Fire. So I hope you guys are ready for that. They're excited because I've been telling them you're going to be a part of Encouragement on Fire. Outside of my inner circle, my family, my dogs are my family. I've had dogs for over probably all my life because I've had dogs growing up. And, in our family, I think we've had dogs since my youngest son was 5 or 4. So they know nothing else other than having animals. And I think that's such a wonderful achievement, taking care of someone other than yourself, putting your hands to that and making sure that those animals are okay. All right. So see, that's one of my achievements. My animals, I love them. I love them. I love them. And I love other people's animals when I see them too. So, what are yours? What are your achievements? I want you to put that on paper at the same time you're putting the other items, because as we move forward, it's going to be important for you to look back because as you're moving forward, sometimes discouragement comes. And that's why you have to look at what are the things that you have achieved? Where are you now? And where can we go from here? Okay? All right, I'm Shirley Farrar, and this has been Encouragement on Fire. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.